Friday the 30th of August, nearly the end of the month. Look what I just got from Germany. I just bought on the off chance this rather pretty, very pretty little Dovo stainless steel razor, but unfortunately it is a wreck. Now, when I bought it off eBay, I thought it was only like nicks in the blade. Unfortunately, one of the nicks has developed into a crack. So this will be, is it going to make it or not video. First things first, we're going to bread knife it on a really big coarse diamond plate. Then we're going to refine it down and check as we go along to see if I've managed to get the crack out. If the crack spreads, this becomes junk. So we shall see. But what a pretty little razor. I had to try and save it. I just couldn't resist. Anyway, here we go. So first things first, this is a 180 DMT Tools diamond plate. And this poor little razor is going to go through some stick today. But it's that or chuck it. And it's come from a very nice, very kind gentleman, Alex, in Germany. I won't mention his last name for privacy reasons, but thank you, Alex. It's a challenge, but it came in at the right price, so we shall see what we shall see. The first few nicks are going to come out really easily, as you can see. They're out already. Being a very, very fine, deeply hollow ground blade, of course the steel is not very much to remove. Now I would say it stands a chance. I want to go a little bit deeper because I know what fractured steel can do. It can suddenly say, no, I've had enough. Anyway, this is the very coarse 180 grit. And I would say it stands a chance. The crack's a little more evident on one side than the other. Now, I'm going to go further. There's nothing worse than refining an injured blade only to find you got it wrong and it gives up the ghost on you. But being a deep hollow, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of material. Now, to the untutored eye, that's probably enough. But if in doubt, give it more welly. What a lovely little box it came in. Plastic, of course. Dovo, Solingen, Germany. Made by Fritz Brach. Swedish steel. Hollow ground. But the trouble is, it's already only a 5/8. So there's a limit. There's going to be a limit to how much I dare take off. There's one little nick right in the nose. That's got to go as well. It's surprising how people get hold of razors thinking you can do other jobs with them. You can't. They're razors. They're meant for cutting very fine hair very carefully. Prying open tins of paint and cutting leather or anything else, totally unsuitable. Anyway, that's the bread knifing. I think we can probably call that done. Sorry about the noise. Yeah, I'm happy. That's it. I think we're there. So, we'll take this one away. We'll go on to a 4000 grit, which I can actually refine the edge a little bit. Not that we've got an edge, but we're going to go now 45 degrees, then 30 degrees, check it out, and then we might be ready to put it on the stones and not on the diamonds. So let's just try. You're probably wondering why I haven't bothered taping the spine, because obviously this has never been used before, this razor. It has no spine hone wear at all, but frankly it's such a salvage case, I'm really not that bothered. So I'm afraid we're going to put a little tiny bit of aggressive diamond wear on this. In fact, I haven't even bothered putting it on at 45 degrees. I've gone for broke. So sadly, I am actually now, I'm still putting most of the pressure on the blade, and I'll, very strange, but there is a very slight warp. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you see the heel and the toe are taking all the brunt, and on the other side, on actually the gold plated side, it's more even. So a good reason to try to take it to an even heel, so to speak. I think this is going to be if this works, this will be a very nice little trimming razor. Oh, and thanks so much guys for all the comments, profoundly useful comments on my little angled shave yesterday, where I used for the first time a convex wooden block, but I didn't have sufficiently coarse stuff. I was lacking in diamond paste. I was lacking using a white TI paste, and then the green very fine paste isn't going to make any difference at all. So it did actually give a better edge, and it did give a slightly better shave. But thanks guys for all the comments, really useful. I mean, I've followed very many marvellous honers on YouTube, and Jared's ideas are still as current as ever. And Bill M, thank you Bill. Eric, obviously, the Cajun blade. There's a very slight rocking here. So there is a very minor geometry issue, which I shall whack the living crap out of. Yes, there is. It's very slight. But Fritz Bracht makes very nice Dovo razors, but it seems every now and again he puts a slight warp into one. And this one has a very slight warp, but not for long. I'll cure it. You'll see me working really at the very primary first stage of a very serious hone. Yeah, that's coming. It's actually coming. But no edge yet. I know it's only a crude test, but the thumbnail test never lies. I won't spend too much longer on this chat, because you'll get bored and want to go and follow someone else, and I wouldn't blame you at all. Yeah, it's definitely got a slight warp to it. Not a lot, but it has. I think possibly somebody tried to do some horrible things to the poor edge, and it might even have caused the edge to slightly warp. But anyway, this is the cure. A bit of brute strength. Yeah, that's coming now. I've had to take a huge amount off the heel. Can you see that, guys? Quite a lot off the heel. Nothing off the centre. A lot off the toe. Sure sign of a geometry issue. Who would have thought that? But it doesn't matter. It's coming. Very slowly. You You've got to be patient when you're doing an edge rebuild. You know, you've got to put an even pressure as well. If you did this one-handed, all you're going to do is put all the wear on the toe and not sufficient on the heel. I think this is a savable razor. I hope so. I think so. I expected to take out the nicks. I didn't expect to find a geometry issue. And my way of testing geometry isn't to put it on a flat plate. A lot of people do that and see, you know, exactly where the edge lies. I prefer actually grinding it away. Like I am. As you can see, it won't take long. Rotary strokes take off an awful lot of metal. Yeah, there was a warp. I can just make out the beginning of an edge being formed. But I won't bore you for much longer, guys. I might even make this a two-parter, because my intention was to try and save this poor little Dovo stainless and to put a coticule edge on it, because I've had a lot of joy with coticles and stainless steel. So we're going to go from the coarsest possible grind imaginable slowly onto coticule. Yeah, that's encouraging. Long way to go. But to do this on an even more coarse diamond plate, like the 180 grit, oh, it's going to leave some terrible scratches on the spine. So let's make sure we don't do that. Yeah, this is never going to be a wonderful razor, for the simple reason those nicks went quite deep, and it's only a small blade to start with. It's only a 5/8. So I think this will be an undersized, slightly undersized razor. But you can shave with anything, guys. You don't have to have a big razor. Now I can still see a flat on that edge. Oh my god, I'm terribly sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to lather the crap out of this. Whether it works, whether it turns back into a usable little razor, well, we shall see. Let's hope so, before I waste too much of your time, guys. That's just me slipping on the dust, it's not anything else. Oh dear. I think I should have used the 180 grit. This 4000 grit's a little bit too fine. See the steel? That's steel. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Oh, yeah, the heel's set. The bevel is set on the heel, so we can't be too far off. Is it worth it? Ah, who can say? I think it's worth trying to save any decent piece of steel. I'm primarily a steel person. Let's have a look. Ah, yes, we're coming. Yeah, that's better. Slowly. And then we should do a synthetic progression, but I'm going to end up on a coticule. I just didn't realise that there was a warp as well as nicks in this blade. But do forgive me. Perhaps I should have had some background music. Ah. Heel, yes. Toe, yes. Sadly, because of the warp, there's no edge in the centre of the blade, but there will be. Yes, it's rather distressing to find there's quite a significant warp in this little razor's edge. There are better ways around this, I know. By swirling the movement and putting a higher angle on, you can obviously put an edge on quicker. But as I've already covered, when you've got a razor this distressed, putting a little bit of extra home wear on doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, it's very evident now. I don't know if you can see that well enough, guys, but you can see there's quite a lot of home wear developing on the spine. But we're beginning to get an edge back. It's rather pleasing. So I might well call this a shorter visit to the home stones than I planned. In fact, I will. So this is a sort of I'll pause it in a minute. I just want to show you how possible it is to redeem an edge. I tell you what, yeah, the heel and toe is without doubt there, but I'm still lacking. How annoying. I would have thought with a very old blade, you know, Victorian or early 20th century, you're very likely to suffer from warps. I would have thought with a Dovo, and this I'm guessing, but this is probably 1980s, maybe 1990s Dovo, I really would have thought there wouldn't have been a warp issue. But there is. But not for long. Because come what may, we'll win. Still, to quote an old saying, the operation was a success, but the patient died. Let's hope this patient works. Yeah, it's slowly getting there. Oh dear, dear, dear. I'm going to wash some of this dust off. There we go. That's the swarf removed. We now have a wet plate, which in theory might give a little bit more traction. You won't see the swarf building. The feel's the same. Yep. I mean, it's definitely starting. So what I propose is to set, you can call it set, is to set the bevel on this 4000 grit diamond plate, and then I'm going to pause the video. I'll do a lot more work on the stones and I'll finish on a coticule, and then it should be done. Yeah, that's not far off now, guys. So what I'll do is I'll now stop the video for a moment, finish off here, and I'll restart it on the stones.